name of Chalani. Remember this name. A white gentleman. One of the third or fourth executive secretaries who was on the battlefield fighting in Texas around 1919. And he fought so hard that they beat him unconscious. I want you to understand why this fight is just not black, it's black and white. This man gave his all. They beat him unconscious. They beat him so bad that after it was over, his condition was such that he couldn't continue. But he understood how important the fight was. In this fight, you've got to be willing to sacrifice. I liken it to the movie Roots. How many of you saw the movie Roots? Yeah. I want to use one example from that movie. There was a gentleman by the name of Kunta Kinte. There was a gentleman by the name of Chicken George. This is significant. The movie was long, but I want to just draw on 2 points. Kunta Kinte understood how important it was to fight. Kunta Kinte understood how important it was to embrace his culture. Chicken George had experienced the big house. Now was a scene in the movie when Chicken George, who in many ways had sold out, tried to get Kunta Kinte, who was still holding on, to come over to his side because he said it's better in the big house. I'm being treated real good. Kunta Kinte could have easily said, I'll come over to your side. I can lessen the burden on myself. County Kinte loved Chicken George, if you saw the movie. But he said to Chicken George, I can't do it. I can't do it. And if you followed the movie long enough, County Kinte hung on until they beat him so bad, until finally he said, Toby. They beat him, and they beat him, and they beat him, and they beat him, and they beat him, until he finally said, Toby. He didn't say Toby because he gave up. He said Toby because they had beat him so bad. What am I saying? In this fight, in County County, in Irwin County, in Ware County, you've got to find something to hold on to so strong that when they come after you and they beat you, you still hold on to the cause. And they beat you, you still hold on to the cause. And they beat you some more, you still hold on. His fireman is putting everything on the line. He showed up with us every time we've been here. And I liken him in this movie because they are after him. They want to stop Larry. Because Larry is the voice of County County. But in order to stop Larry, our message has got to be, if you take Larry down, you got to take me down. If you take Larry down, you got to take me down.
That's right.
And when you take me down, you got to take the next person down. And you better hope ain't none of us got any breath left. And even if we don't, our children will. That's what the message has got to be. Even if you take this generation out, there's another generation, and another generation, and another generation that's going to keep coming